Okay. 3, 2, 1. And it's Ken Kraetzer for the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade at Anton's and the parade brunch. We have the chance to talk with the chairman of the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, our friend John Dunleavy. And John, it's just got to be a great moment for you when the parade season gets going. And we start so much of this off with this beautiful brunch here at Anton's.
Yes, indeed, Ken. A magnificent day here. We have 700 people here, and that's what the parade is all about, Ken. I'm just with the chairman, but the people, if we didn't have the people supporting the parade, we wouldn't have a parade. But it is a magnificent credit to us, to the Irish community, that they come out and support our faith, our heritage and our culture. And nobody can ever take that away from us. We're not going to allow anybody to do that. But yes, there's certain things on the parade. We stand by our beliefs and our faith, and we're not going to change.
Absolutely, and we have had a chance to talk with the Grand Marshal for 2014, Mr. Jack Ahern, and tell us a little bit about your Grand Marshal this year.
Yeah, Jack is a wonderful, wonderful gentleman. He's a Labour leader. It's 16 years ago since we had the last Labour leader here, so every number of years we strike back to all of the various professions that the Irish have been successful here in America. And I don't think there's any group has been more successful in bringing about benefits to the American people than the Irish Labour leaders have in this country. They've done a magnificent job in so many different fields, and we're honoured and delighted to have Jack Ahern. He's the business manager of the operating engineers. So Jack indeed has a wonderful support of the Irish American community here in the New York metropolitan area. And we are honoured and privileged to have Jack, and I'm sure I speak for all Irish American here in the metropolitan area when we say we'll be proud to march up Fifth Avenue behind Jack Ahern.
Absolutely, and the parade, I'm always amazed at how big the parade is, about 150 marching bands, 200 delegations. What are some of any new delegations this year, bands coming for the parade?
Oh, yeah, there's a load of bands from Ireland. There's 5 or 6 bands from Ireland, and we have the United States Marshal Marine Academy from Kings Point is going to lead up the GAA. The GAA was the Gaelic Athletic Association. They're 100 years in existence here in America, or in New York area, and they've been magnificent in promoting sports among the young, the Irish. And in the last number of years, when the immigrants pool dried up, they started with the youth here in the New York metropolitan area, and they developed so many clubs, and those kids now are becoming very, very proficient in playing Gaelic football and hurling and everything else. And within a few short period of time, they will be able to compete with the people in Ireland, just as they did in music and in dance. And I think they do a magnificent job. So this year we're honouring or dedicating the parade to the GAA and the magnificent job they've done here in America.
That's great, and we're getting close, down under a month to the start of the parade. What are some of the other events that you're involved with leading up to March 17th?
Well, there are a lot of events. I'm kept busy on a variety of different things. Particularly, I don't have time to even think of my golf game. There's cobwebs on them. But after March 17th, I will indeed take the cobwebs off my golf clubs, and it's nearly a full-time job. 24 hours a day working on this parade. So, and particularly raising funds. Now, we don't get, the city of New York doesn't, a lot of people think that the city gives us a lot of money. The city doesn't give us nothing. And yet, when I was down at City Hall and I mentioned a figure of $200 million in revenue that the parade brings into the city, and the mayor's aide said, John, you're lowballing it. Costed to $250 million for the day. So it's a tremendous financial benefit to the city as well as everything else, and as well as it's going out worldwide on the television. You're promoting New York, and there's bands from a variety of places here in America. That I always remember Londonderry, New Hampshire. They have about 300 kids come down here, and they for 3 days an educational trip. They go to the museums, they go to the theatre, the march and the parade, and they go back home to Londonderry, New Hampshire, and they have. The New York City has 300 ambassadors for the city of New York. You couldn't buy that. So you couldn't. So.
And the parade day itself starts with a mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral and the start of the parade at 11 o'clock sharp. And what's your favorite moment of parade day?
Listen, there's a lot of parade great moments. I think the Grand Marshal going up and all the dignitaries and the bands and the smile on everybody's face. That is it's a treasure. You see them all going up. They're happy. They're content that they have an opportunity to march up Fifth Avenue, the Queen of Avenues and the greatest city in the world. We're here in the United States, the greatest country in the world, and the freedoms we enjoy here are second to none. So we have an awful lot to be thankful for. We'll march up the avenue in honour of our faith. Most important, we go to Mass in St. Patrick's Cathedral at 8:30 that morning. It's under construction, so this year the seating is a little limited, but always our day of celebration begins with the Mass.
And John Dunleavy, we always have to remember that when you came from Ireland to New York, you joined the United States Army and served our country in the Army, and you've brought a lot of veterans groups and members of the military into the parade over the years.
That is correct. We have our military, no question about that. I'm very honoured and privileged to have served in the United States Army. I learned a lot when I was in there, and taken me a long way. But we do have me in Washington, and I associate with all of the top military brass in Washington, and they are indeed coming up to the parade this year again. So we'll always look forward to our military. Our military is very, very important to us, and the Irish have always served in our military, even going back to the beginning with the Civil War and everything else. And I know going back in 1945, there was talk that the parade, they were going to cancel it because there were so many of the members, our Irish, were serving in the armed forces. And there was Congressman Delaney from Queens, a confidant of President Truman, had mentioned to him, and Truman's words was, absolutely not. That is a great morale booster for America, that parade. Under no circumstances must it be cancelled. And he's the only sitting president in 1948 that reviewed the parade. So we have a great relationship with our military, and we always will. We respect our military, we respect people that serve in the military. They are what America is all about.
John Dunleavy, thank you for your service to our country in the U.S. Army, and we will look forward to seeing you on March 17th, helping to lead the parade up Fifth Avenue.
Thank you so much, Ken. I'm honoured and privileged. Thank you so much, and God bless America.
This is Ken Kraetzer for the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade.